everyone, Guru Vidka here. So, one of my previous posts that I did, I was talking about a Disney versus Pixar bracket challenge. Alright? However, in order to do that correctly, you can't just do the one that Disney and Pixar have previously put out. Okay? In order to do that correctly, you have to take classic Disney movies. I'm talking Snow White, Dumbo, Bambi, Cinderella, etc., etc. Those. And you have to take the classic animated cartoons. Okay, obviously you can't get all of them in there or else that thing is going to be incredibly long. However, you can get a decent amount in there. And then you take all of the Pixars. However, Pixar's, they only have so many. They actually technically have an odd amount of movies. However, until Incredibles 2 comes out. So, obviously I'm going to be holding off on the Pixar one until Incredibles comes out. However, I am going to be starting with Disney. Alright? So, the first one I have done so far is Dumbo versus Bambi. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of you have seen Dumbo, seen Bambi. Honestly, I have just recently watched both. Last time I saw both movies, I'll put it this way, I was probably pre-K age, if not younger. That's how young I was. So, I watched them again, and I found out that Bambi is incredibly slow. Hold on, I'm gonna take off these, alright? It's just really bright here. Yes, Bambi is incredibly slow. My camera's on this side. Alright, sorry. Yes, Bambi is incredibly slow. However, the plot, not the complete execution of it, it's, I guess the story itself, the essence of it, is actually very good. So is Dumbo. Dumbo is fantastic. Actually, it's a lot more fast-paced. I enjoyed it so much more than Bambi. However, when you break it down, it's kind of hard to choose. So, everyone knows the story of Bambi, the prince of the forest who's born, and it's pretty much about his life, his childhood, his teenage years, up until his adult years. The animation is fantastic. The music is beautiful. However, I will say it is all incredibly long. The music is, though being beautiful, I felt like one song went on for 7 minutes. That's how long. That's how lengthy I felt the movie was. It literally took me 2 days to watch Bambi, where it only took me, the duration of Dumbo to watch Dumbo. Both are very good because like Bambi. Okay, I'm gonna talk about Bambi right now. I'm gonna get on to Dumbo in a second. So Bambi, the overall story is about love, loss, friendship, and perseverance, which is amazing. The love between Bambi and his mother, the love and friendship between Bambi and his friends, then the loss of Bambi's mother, and then not only that, Bambi going to live with his father. So technically at that point he also loses his friends, but yet at the same time he also gains a father, because he never really knew him at that point. So his father raises him pretty much for the rest of the time. Bambi ends up coming back home, reconnecting with all of his old friends, and at that point that's when friendship really plays a big part in the movie, because as I'm sure many of you know out there, you can always leave for a number of years, have no contact at all with friends, then all of a sudden see them again and completely act like nothing has ever happened. Like you just pick up exactly where you left off and you're all great friends again. It's happened to me, it's happened to people in my family, it's even happened to other friends whose friends happened with them. It's a very common thing. Friendship is something that can be lost, or it's something that's a lifelong thing. So that's pretty much the overall thing about Bambi. Now Dumbo. A lot of you know the story of Dumbo. The stork was late arriving him to his mother Jumbo, and Jumbo is a female elephant. I think I just said that, his mother Jumbo. Yeah, sounds like a guy, personally. I would think Jumba. Then you'd have to think of Lilo and Stitch, Jumbo to Kiba. Besides the point. So, yes, the stork arrives late, arriving with Dumbo. Well, come to find out, very soon after, Dumbo has giant ears. I mean, these things are massive. I mean, they would, like, how would I describe it? Go look at the Tim Burton one that's coming out soon, 2019, the live action one. You'll see the ear. That's what it's like. Here I am promoting a movie. All right, no. So, he has giant ears, and he is ridiculed by all the elephants except his mother. And, you know, his mother loves him, of course, etc., etc. They end up coming to, like, leaving one state or town or city or something like that, going to another one via train. And here's one part that's really messed up that I have not seen. I've seen everything about Jim Crow, the character in the movie, and how that's really racist, but everyone fails to mention the fact that only the animals, mainly elephants and giraffes and horses and zebras and things like that, those animals are helping set up the circus, as well as only black men. No ringmaster, no clowns, none of the actual circus people. Only black men. Although, when you think about it, look at the time period. Segregation was a big part of society back then, and so technically it's not, you know, too far off. I mean, a lot of black men had to get whatever jobs they could at the time, compared to nowadays where many of them are incredibly successful. I mean, look at the music industry right now. It's primarily run by black folk, which is completely fine. I mean, they're doing great, and their music is fantastic. Most of their music. I'm not big into rap. Hip-hop, I'm down with. Rap, no. I'm getting off track. So, yes, that is in today's ideology and sociology, not sociology, and yeah, I guess you could say that, in society, it wouldn't be considered politically correct for that scene. Now, moving on, long story short, Bambi gets separated from his mother due to the fact that there are these kids who are laughing at Dumbo, but Dumbo's having a good time, all right? These kids are laughing because of his giant ears, and you know what? They're all going like this, like telling him to flap, and you know what? He ends up flapping his ears. Dumbo's smiling. He's having a great time because he's not only himself having fun, but he's seeing that these kids are having fun. So he's getting a kick out of that. However, Dumbo's mother is not. She's seeing that these kids are making fun of her son. So what she does, she grabs Dumbo with her trunk and takes him away from the crowd. The crowd of kids is not happy about this. So what do? They end up throwing peanuts and rocks and other things at Jumbo, trying to get her to bring out Dumbo. Well, then you get a group of these kids who come into the elephant pen to try to forcibly take Dumbo away from Jumbo. Now, these kids are not really kids. These kids are at least 16, 17 years old. They know exactly what they're doing. They know what they're doing is wrong, and they are lucky that Jumbo did not trample them. In fact, you could tell while watching the movie, she did not want to hurt them. All she wanted was to protect her child. And guess what happens? She ends up becoming bound and then taken away from her son and locked into solitude because of her actions. And if you actually look on the, because she's like in this train cart on her own, like bound in chains. And on it says, "Mad Elephant. Stay away, dangerous." And I'm like, really? All she was trying to do is protect her child. And she's considered, you know, rogue. She's gone rogue. That's insane. Dumbo, after that, is then shunned by all the rest of the elephants. Still, none of them want to take him in. However, Mr. Timothy Q. Mouse comes in and takes Dumbo under his care, tries to encourage him, telling Dumbo that he is destined for great things and greatness overall, which Timothy is correct. Find out later, because of Dumbo's enormous freaking ears, he can fly. And so easily Dumbo becomes one of the new wonders of the world, essentially. His mother ends up out of her bondage, and they're able to be together again. In both movies, you can notice the lack of parentage, in a way. The loss of a mother in both of them. That's due to the fact that Walt Disney, at a young age, actually lost his mother. If I'm right, it's due to some illness. I don't know all the details. That's pretty much the extent of my knowledge on that. Both are fantastic movies. Both have many great qualities. The execution for Dumbo, personally, is a lot better than Bambi. Literally, Bambi, I just thought that was an incredibly long movie. It took a long time to get through. Dumbo, real quick, real fast. Personally, I have my opinion on which is the better, but what I suggest you do, go watch Dumbo, watch Bambi, and you make the decisions, okay? First and foremost, you can't just say, this is better than this. I like this one better, and so I'm going to choose this. You can't do that, okay? What you have to do is you actually have to sit down, thoroughly watch them, and not only talk to yourself about animation, story, music, and score. You also have to talk about the underlining themes, and all that. The characters, what part they really played, and so on and so forth. You actually have to get to the real undertone of everything before you can really make a decision on which one is better. So if I'm going to be honest, I'm actually going to tell you which one personally I like better versus what should go on to the next round. So personally, I love Dumbo better. Dumbo is much better than Bambi. I liked it so much. However, for me, what's going on to the next round is Bambi, due to the fact that it had more relatable issues. It had they both had equally great stories, but I feel like Bambi had a better story. It was the life of Bambi. There was love, loss, friendship, all this amazing stuff. Which I know Dumbo had it too, but I thought Bambi had a significant amount more of it than Dumbo did. So personally, what's going on to the next round in the bracket challenge is going to be Bambi. Even though my personal one, it would be Dumbo. Until next time, this is Guru Vitka, and let me know in the comments what your favorite out of the two are, Dumbo or Bambi. Remember, you have to choose correctly, not just which one you feel like you like better. You actually have to thoroughly get into it. Let me know, and I will post at the beginning of the next video, and I will let you know the winner of that, and then we'll get on to the next round. And the next round is actually going to be a pretty tough one. The next round is going to be Sleeping Beauty versus Snow White. Alright? Both under a sleeping curse, both princesses. And honestly, I got some opinions on both of those. I mean, I'm actually going to be getting into not only the positives, but honestly, I'm kind of getting to the negatives of things. Those princess movies really get on my nerves. Not because they're bad movies, but just certain quality. You'll see. Alright, until next time, this is Guru Vega.